Now, I also had the teacher talk. The teacher talk is when I encourage some teachers to volunteer to lead the discussion. For example, for next week, I would say I am no longer going to present to you any tech tools in focus. I want to be able to, I want to ask anybody who would like to present the tech tools I have not presented yet, but you know so much better than me. Because I know, I have to admit, I cannot keep up with all of the tech tools that are coming up to us almost every single week. I would come up, or I would see something that is new. And there are many of our teachers, and there's only one of me. And I'm thinking our teachers, they tend to discover more by themselves, and they actually learn so much better when they're the ones discovering things. So I'm pretty sure many of your teachers have mastered many tech tools that we probably have not even used. So this is where you encourage them to talk. You encourage them to share to their colleagues what they have done so far in the classroom, what kind of, for example, lesson they have actually in the classroom, and what lessons, what did they use, how did they use it, what were the reactions of the kids. And then this is when they can actually share to their colleagues how, at least for that particular lesson that they had, they were they achieved their goals for that particular week. So you can see I have two names, one science teacher and one math teacher. So you can always assign which one will be presenting, and then you give them the days when they're going to have that. During our collaboration also, when we have all the teachers together, that's when I have the data talk. For this particular week, I just gave them the template that I usually use in the classroom. It's a very simple template. And this one right here is linked straight to this one. I know this is free in Google Sheets, and I think you have access to this. All you have to do is edit, and all you have to do is make it your own. And then I talk to them how to use them and what are some of those reports. So you can always link something. Let's say you just finished testing. And since I was doing high school, or I'm still doing high school, we can always talk about the results of the SAT once they have already come up, or the pre-SAT, or we had finished the semester and wanted to talk about the biology results, the end of their final exams. So we can always have that conversation right over here. Now, let's say we did not have any kind of testing or major testing for that particular week. Our teachers still have their quizzes in the classroom. They can always present something right over here. So what's your data right now? Are you actually in phase with your pacing guide? Are you actually teaching what you're supposed to be teaching for this week? How is your progress when it comes to what we should finish for this week or for next month or until we get to testing? So those are the things that you can talk about over here. Then I also give them a lot of resources. Feel free to click on the resources that we have here. This one right here is a website I have created for all the pacing guide, for all the unpacking documents, for everything that we have to use with our science and math teachers. So if you want to take a look, feel free to look around. This is for the science, then we have one for the math, for social studies, and then for reading. So there's a website that I have created for everyone to take a look and try to see where the resources are. For example, for science, I put in all of these materials that are needed in the classroom for them to teach, most especially, for example, the pacing guide. So we know that when we go back and talk about our goals, our objectives, we always go back to the pacing guide. So according to the pacing guide, this month or this week, you should be able to finish Unit 5. How are you doing with that? Are you actually in line with the pacing guide? Will you be able to finish everything? What help do you need to make sure that you can actually finish? Are you meeting the goals, for example? What are the results of the kids' quizzes last week compared to the pacing guide? Your goal, for example, for this week is to finish this so that you can move on to the next part, so that we will be able to finish everything in time for the review before the finals. So those are some of the things we always go back to that one. So it's always nice to give your teachers resources. And if you hopefully you have all the resources already that you have, because I know it's always updating. From my end, I know I always have to update everything that I have. So I try to keep up with it as much as I can. And then all the other resources that I have is also in here. Now, after all of these, this right here, like what I said, right from the very beginning, you already have your modeling with a welcome activity. And then over here, by showing them that, you are also modeling with your teachers that you actually are capable of learning something new. Then maybe also by giving that impression that they too can learn something new. It doesn't matter whether we've been in education for 25 years, 30 years, or what. And I know uh, this is my 25th year, but I'm still learning. And I make it a point to tell them that, hey, I cannot always know everything. So let's try to learn things together. So every single time, it's a matter of collaborating with them, it's a matter of modeling, it's a matter of exchanging that kind of support with them.